Hey, how y'all doing? Welcome back to our Coffee Thoughts and Things with yours truly, Pastor Joe. I've been in the middle of a series here at the church, and I think we've been talking about, well, no, I know we've been talking about some really cool things that not only are blessing everybody here, but I know that as you consider them, I know that it's going to bless you as well, give you some things to think about. Every ministry, even the Lord himself, he had a specific calling, specific purpose, and he was very careful to make sure that he stayed with it. The Apostle Paul had a particular ministry and so on, and it's the same today with local churches. And we've spent some time really working hard at defining what it is that Goffstown Harvest Christian Church is supposed to be about. And we've been able to sum it up into basically three simple statement sentences. God, through his people, brings heaven to the earth. And so I'm just going to take a minute or so and just share with you kind of what those things have been meaning to us, and I know they'll give you some things to think about as well, maybe, I'm sure that to challenge you. First of all, we need to understand as far as God. The Word of God says this, and it says, the heavens and the earth declare the glory of God. And one of the things we say a lot around here is that it's important to recognize and realize, you know what, it's not about you. It's not about me. Everything, God as the creator, he creates to demonstrate himself and his goodness. So it's important that we learn that all things belong to him, and you know what? Honor, respect, and give it up for the creator of all things, and that includes you and me. And so all things must start with not just recognizing and acknowledging him and how awesome he is in worship, but recognize that our lives belong to him as well. And that brings us to the next thing we talk about, is God through his people. And he creates everything with talents, abilities, expressions as far as who he is and his goodness. And he's done the same things even with people. He's done the same things with you and with me. And it's important that our journey in our journeys that we discover what it is that makes us special and unique. Now, there's no doubt that your talents, my talents, they can be similar to others, but you and I have a specific DNA when it comes to talents and gifts that belong only to us. We can do things in God and for our generation that no one else ever can do. And it's important to recognize, when Jesus was asked, hey, you want to fill us in? If there's an important commandment, can you fill us in on how this stuff works? He said, yeah, I can tell you exactly what it is. There's actually two of them. And he said, love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and your soul. And so Jesus repeated what we just talked about, that everything's all about God. And our energies and our strengths should be, of course, given to him. But then he said this. He said, and love your neighbor as yourself. He says these two commands are alike and they work together. And so he said something that's really important, and that is that in our vertical worship to God, it will result in horizontal service to others. And I want to encourage you to really look for opportunities to use the gifts, the talents, those things that you have, and to serve other people with. And you know what? Sometimes you're going to have to understand that as Christians, we're going to be put out sometimes. In other words, there's going to be times you're not going to be comfortable serving others. And we've said this as well, that you can't take the sacrifice out of Christianity. And there's going to be times that we're going to need to be sacrificing for other folks. And then thirdly, bringing heaven to the earth. As we do these things, the most famous prayer in the Word of God was what? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. There's the God first part. Your kingdom come and your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And I know when I learned that I am an agent that God uses to marry heaven to the earth, oh my gosh, what that opened up as far as the possibilities, not only in my walk with God, but also what it is I can experience here in this life and see the amazing things that God has for me, for his people, for my generation. And I want to encourage you to discover those things and know that what God is doing in you, what he wants to do in you, literally brings the kingdom of heaven to this earth. And so I want to challenge you with those things that have been challenged in church. That's what I've been thinking about last couple of weeks. And the next time we get together, I'm going to talk more specifically on the heaven on earth part. And that's where it gets really, really exciting. So blessings to you. I look forward to talking to you again real soon. See ya.